Hello and welcome to Just the Facts, where we ask Toby to answer a frequently asked question. Today's question on Just the Facts is this. Fenn has said on more than one occasion that no specialized knowledge is required to find the treasure. He says that we only need the poem, his book, Google Earth, or a good map. Why do you feel the need to research everything from surveying to paleontology?
Well, as usual, it's a really good question. I think there are at least 3, maybe 4 reasons. The first reason is because it's in my nature. It's hard for me to do something that I'm not familiar with. Prior to 2013, I wasn't a treasure hunter. I didn't hunt, never had. The closest I had ever come to hunting for treasure was a metal detecting. So once I got the book, I had to learn some new things about hunting for treasure. I had to acquire the book. I had to read it. But it's in my nature to research things. I mean, that's kind of who I am at my most fundamental. The second reason is that there have at times been up to 350,000 people looking for this treasure. Not all of them boots on the ground, but searching for it. And it strikes me that if it was as simple as reading the poem and looking at a map, the treasure would have been found by now. I don't think it's that simple. I think at some point or the other, you have to interpret Warm Waters Halt. And by interpretation, I don't mean taking Warm Waters Halt and looking for it on Google Earth. Don't think it's going to be found that way. So that's the second reason. The third reason is just that. Fenn provides us 9 clues in the poem, hints in the book, but let's start with the 9 clues. The 9 clues include things like where warm waters halt, canyon down, home of brown, no place for the meek. There's not any map that I'm aware of where you're going to find those statements. You're not going to find a point on a map marked with an X that says where warm waters halt. So you're going to have to do some interpretation of the description of his clues in the poem. And that means not only looking at a map, and maybe perhaps it is, maybe it's looking at a map and looking at it in a creative way and saying on that map there's a point marked there that you could say that could be Warm Waters Halt. But I don't see how, because I've tried it that way. It isn't that simple. I think at some point or the other, some research, at least into determining the possible definitions of locations where Warm Waters Halt has to be done. Then the final thing for me is Fenn himself. Is that 4?
Mm-hmm.
The fourth thing is Fenn himself. That advice was given to us by a man who had barely made his high school education. No college education to speak of. Yet went on to be trained in a high-performance fighter aircraft and survive around 300 combat missions in Vietnam. That required specialized knowledge. He then went on to build a gallery, an art gallery, in Santa Fe, New Mexico, one of the toughest art markets in the world. In addition to that, he's considered at least a knowledgeable amateur in several different areas, including Neolithic Native Americans, geology, paleontology, archaeology, anthropology, all of which he didn't have specialized knowledge of before he started digging in San Lazaro. And then he's the author of what now, 13, 14 books on a broad variety of subjects, including his memoirs, none of which he had specialized knowledge before he started those books. So, in my opinion, although Fenn says you do not require specialized knowledge, to me, he doesn't say you don't need to acquire specialized knowledge in order to find it. The thrill of the chase, the poem, and the book are probably starting points for the acquisition of new knowledge necessary to find the treasure. So I will continue to research these different areas. I think it gives us the best chance of getting to the treasure.
I think it also helps you to eliminate those things that it isn't.
Yeah.
Which is also just as important as finding the things that it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for your answer today.
My pleasure.
And for those of you watching, please do take this opportunity to like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And then click on the bell to receive notifications. Keep in contact with us by subscribing at agypsieskiss.tv. Find our blog at agypsieskiss.com, and you can subscribe to that as well to receive updates. We're on Instagram at @gypsies_kiss. Find us on Twitter at @gypsies. We're on Facebook at agypsieskiss. And you can email us at agypsieskiss@gmail.com.
And if you'd like to acquire, see what I did there? Acquire some specialized merch with the A Gypsy's Kiss branding on it, go to zazzle.com/A Gypsy's Kiss. And finally, if you'd like to contribute via a donation to our project so that we can continue to produce high quality, informative, educational, and more of this kind of work, please go to paypal.me/A Gypsy's Kiss and make a small donation. We would truly appreciate it.
Take a moment and give us a thumbs up on our video, and remember to share it with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. And for A Gypsy's Kiss, I'm Shelley Carney. We'll be back next week for more of Just the Facts.